Hey guys, it is Matthew V21688, and we're back now. We're about to do the final case of the White Peaks District. This is case number 30 in Pacific Bay. The end of the night. Oh. Yikes. Matthew, do you think I should take Amy's shift today? The kid's been through so much, she needs a break. Amy's hometown is not the sweetest and innocent place I imagine. Her brother's in a wheelchair, her mother's a heartbeat. Not to mention her ex is a cannibal, and her best friend got killed. If it was me, I'd be drinking by now. Thank you for your concern, Frank, but my family and past are none of your business. Or are you trying to say I'm not fit to work? Amy, I didn't see you, but it's not what I meant. Well, good, because Chief Marquez expects me to do my job. And so does Matthew. All I need is fresh air and I'll be fine, Matthew. Shall we go for a walk before our shift starts? Matthew, was I harsh with Frank? I'm sure he meant well, and it's true. I've been through a lot. But work is the best way to forget personal woes, and I'd hate to let you down. A little walk would do me good and... Oh no, is that a... Sorry, Matthew. Deep breath. I'm fine. Totally ready to have a closer look at that bridge over there. End of the night. Yow. I think it is. Yep. Come on. $626,100. Okay. Goodness me, we know this man. It's Roberto Vasquez, the guy who tried to make me his queen in the Love Village. Matthew, you're saying Roberto's been attacked recently? Something to do with trying to film the Nightwalker to prove the legend is true? Well, he's certainly dead now. I'll get the body to Roxy. Wait, you found a paper boat with the word Walker written on it? Quick, can you retrieve the rest of the writing that got washed off in the water? And is that the victim's phone? Do you think he can unlock it and see... Hey, what was that? Hello, Deputy Chief Matthew. Hi, sis. Oh, wait, is that a body there? Now I'm in trouble, aren't I? Sorry for wandering into your crime scene, Deputy Chief Matthew. I know the drill. You'll have to question me now. I'll wait here until you're ready. Holy God, I can't believe this. I'm going to start autopsying the body. And I'm going to let these run its course. I'm going to go back and get some stars. So I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, I'm back now. I got some stars. I got 6 of them. Now we're going to first interrogate Duncan Young. God, I hope it's not him. Deputy Chief Matthew, don't let Amy treat me differently just because I'm her brother. I know I must be questioned. I was a cop once, remember? But I don't know what Deputy Chief Matthew could ask you, Duncan. It's so absurd to assume you could have killed Roberto. Well, I know a few things that might help. Roberto was fascinated with the Nightwalker, Deputy Chief Matthew. I was with you when you found his photos, remember? Roberto must have crossed the Nightwalker's path. Everyone who digs too deep into that legend ends up digging their own grave. Be careful, Deputy Chief Matthew. And Amy, you know what happens to cops who take personal risks, but I know you'll make the right decision when the time comes. Man, I hope it's not him. Added somebody in. Now let's get to the paper boat. The shadow moves just out of sight. The walker visits us tonight. Matthew, you restored the writing on the paper boat you found by the victim. Can I see? Wait, I know these words. If the birds are afraid to sing, and a chill the wind does bring, the shadow moves just out of sight, the walker visits us tonight. It's an old lullaby about the night walker. Parents sing it to children so they stay out of the woods. Scared me stiff when I was little. Matthew, you think this message is the killer's attempt to scare us? But then we need to find out where this boat came from. You're right. The paper is a little soaked, so the boat spent a few minutes in the water. Long enough for the writing to fade, but not long enough for the boat to sink. And if the boat was launched about 5 minutes upstream from here, then it must have come from the mountaintop. Amazing feat of deduction, Matthew. We should go there. Investigate the mountaintop. Okay, time to rock and roll, baby. Been getting a lot of friend requests from Criminal Case players. I want to say thanks for that. Tower, hot air balloon. Fortified tower. Scarecrow. There we go. Pile of paper. Okay. Matthew, you found a pile of paper under that information board? You think it might hide something interesting? And goodness me, what is that thing? A scarecrow? But that face, it's the Nightwalker's face. You want to take a sample of the fabric to see what this thing is made of? Ugh, okay. First, I'm going to get the mobile phone out of the way. NA7? Yep. Amazing, Matthew. You've unlocked the victim's phone. Alright, let's send it to Hannah. Hours. Maybe in for a treat the next time because I'll be out tomorrow. But I'll still be doing videos when I come home. There we go. Notice the Nightwalker doesn't exist. Yeah. Matthew, you've unearthed a poster from under that pile of paper? Let's see. Notice, the Nightwalker doesn't exist. Who could have put up this sign on a hiking trail? Nicely spotted. There's a stamp at the bottom. Matthew, can you look up the stamp in the database so we know which town hall issued this warning? I'll do that. So we'll hold here for a little bit. Okay, just wanted to get more stars, so now I can get to the stamp. Let's do it. That's a heart, of course. That's Love Village with the mayor. Desiree Bauer. So the stamp you found on the poster by the hiking trail is from the mayor of the Love Village? You're right, Matthew. We've met Mayor Bauer in a previous investigation. Yep, Hearts of Ice. And his constituency, the Love Village, is right by the mountains. But I agree. It's odd that he makes posters to deny the Nightwalker's existence. Good idea, Matthew. Let's ask Mayor Bauer why he made that poster. That is the Nightwalker poster. The Nightwalker legend is getting out of control, Deputy Chief Matthew. Someone has to stop it. That's why I'm putting up these posters. Mayor Bauer, are you aware that a man died near the Forest Bridge? It's the second murder in connection with the Nightwalker, not counting various disappearances. And? Are you suggesting it's the work of some ghost from the 19th century? I thought the police chased living criminals. Look, I love a good spooky story as much as anyone, but your Nightwalker attracts too many dubious characters to White Peaks. Like that filmmaker girl, the Nightwalker didn't kill her. Her own producer did. Nut jobs killing other nut jobs, so close to the Village of Love. The sooner they pack up their gadgets and leave, the sooner we can have a group hug and forget about murders. Uh-huh. And I'm high on prostate. And that was sarcasm, people. That ain't the truth. There we are. Got some threads. Well done, Matthew. You collected threads from the fabric of the Scarecrow. Let's send them to the lab. Okay. Analyze threads. Okay. I'm gonna let these three run their courses, and if chances go well, I could be finding out the results for every single one tomorrow. So sit tight, everyone, and I'll see you all later. Hello, everyone. It's Matthew. We are back, and as you can see, we're gonna do the final case in the White Peaks district, the end of the night. But first, as you can see, I got all three of this ready because I was out riding today. So I'm going to get the victim's body first. Want some ice in your drink, Matthew? How about icicles in your murder victim? A fantastic weapon. If it melts, you'll never find the evidence. Except we're in the mountains at sub-zero temperatures. A couple of smaller icicles are still sticking out of Roberto's body. Only the one that pierced his heart is missing. And there's another thing, Matthew, I couldn't make sense of it. But luckily, Russell was around. Hey, Matthew, see the victim's t-shirt? It used to have "Government Denies Knowledge" written on it, but now some letters are missing. The killer must have cut them out. It's a message. I see. It now says GV Men NK Ledge. But how is that a message, Russell? It doesn't mean anything. That's because the real message is formed by the letters that are missing. OERNTD IESNOW. I still don't understand. It's just a bunch of letters. Something dies now, Amy. A bunch of letters that can almost exactly form the words "another dies now," like an anagram. And considering it was written on a dead body, no doubt about what the killer means. So the killer cut out these letters to send Matthew a message via the victim's t-shirt? Sounds like a macabre crossword puzzle. Exactly, Matthew. You're dealing with a killer who likes riddles. What a fascinating criminal mind. I'll say... There's 1 coin. See if the results of the victim's phone. Matthew, this phone was a great find. Remember your last investigation? You learned that Roberto wanted to catch the Nightwalker on camera. Well, it turns out Roberto was filming with his phone when he got killed. Take a seat, Matthew. I'll show you the footage. I've just seen the Nightwalker. So close I could almost touch it. His face was behind a mask, but I could smell something distinctive on it. Blackberries. I can feel it again. The scent is getting stronger. It's back. Oh no, please don't kill me. So the Nightwalker was lurking in the shadows as Roberto recorded the message? Perhaps if he had kept quiet instead of talking, he'd still be alive. You're right, Matthew. Roberto lost his life, but he gave us a vital clue. The killer carries a scent of blackberries. Seems like an innocent thing for such a monster. Finally, results threads from Jan. Hello, Matthew. The threads you took from the Scarecrow are from an old shirt. They look discolored, as the fabric is worn out. But under the microscope, I can see the thread is from a checkered green fabric. What are you saying, Matthew? That you know a guy who wears a checkered green shirt? Someone who lives in the forest and likes to scare people? Alan Muir. Ah, you mean Alan Muir, the local hermit. Incredible memory, Matthew. You're right. We've had complaints against him because he frightens the hikers. Some even believe he's the Nightwalker, which means he might have made the Scarecrow too. I agree, Matthew. Let's go and talk to Alan. So he comes again. Not the creepy Scarecrow. Yes, I made that Scarecrow to scare the humans. The birds are already afraid to sing like in that old song. That rhyme again. Did you make that paper boat too? To threaten Roberto before you killed him? I made no threats. I didn't kill anyone. I'm just an old man standing guard against evil. How many more people must die before you listen, Deputy Chief Matthew? Run home and lock your doors, you fools. The Walker visits you tonight. Whoa. Matthew, I don't know what to believe anymore. I'm just so cold and confused and worried about my brother getting mixed up in this. You're right, we should recap the evidence before getting emotional. We know the killer pretends to be the legendary Nightwalker, which rules out Mayor Bauer, right? I mean, how can a guy in a pink suit be the Nightwalker? Alan Muir, on the other hand, uses the Nightwalker's legend to keep people away from his territory. Oh boy. It's the Nightwalker. The killer's coming for us, Matthew. God, I hope not. We'll see you for Chapter 2, guys. I'm going to combine this into one, but I'm going to film everything separately. So guys, it's Matthew. We are back for Chapter 2 of The End of the Night. So let's get there. Woo! Did you hear that strange sound too, Matthew? I don't know what's real anymore and what's in my imagination. To think that we're chasing the Nightwalker sends shivers down my spine. And knowing my brother is a suspect in the murder of Roberto Vasquez totally confuses me. Oh no, here it comes again. That sound came from up the hill. I'm shivering, but I'll follow you anywhere, Matthew. Okay, time for the ice cave. Did I get everything in here? No, I did not. Not my best ranking, but I'm doing what I can. Starting with my inspiration, Ace Charming. Melted Snowman, Faded Map, Beer Pack, Fire Extinguisher, Bucket, and a hand. A frozen hand. Oh gosh. Wow, 90%. Already up to 12. Goodness me. Are those human bodies in the ice wall? They're frozen. They're dead. Matthew, you think this means we're in the Nightwalker's lair? Then these bodies must be the people who went missing in the mountains. You're right. Station. Deputy Chief Matthew found the Nightwalker's hideout. We need some specialists to recover frozen bodies from the ice. You're right, Matthew. We must send this hand to Roxy straight away. We don't have a moment to lose, and from this hand, she can at least identify the body. And you found a map, too. Can you make those faded marks on it visible again? Of course. And is that a melted snowman? I don't even want to know while you search through the bits. Even a snowman can hide something sinister in this place. Okay. Frozen hand 6 hours. Oh my god, an eyeball. Oh no, fake eye. Ugh, you found an eye of that melted snowman? That's disgusting. Oh, you think it's a fake eye? Phew. Yeah. And you're saying there seems to be some writing on it too? Ah yes, it's so tiny I can barely see it. Why would anyone write on a fake eye? Whatever it is, I'm afraid this eye will give us a glimpse into a nightmare. But if you want to reveal the message, Matthew, I'm right behind you. There's another coins. Examine the fake eye. You're wrong, Dr. Crane. Matthew, you revealed the message written on that fake eye. What does it say? Roberto, you're wrong, Dr. Crane. It's funny because we know a Dr. Crane, don't we, Matthew? Russell's last name is Crane, and he's a doctor. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, it's not funny. Please tell me this heinous eye couldn't have come from Russell. Matthew, is it just me jumping to dark conclusions, or you also think this makes Russell a suspect? Alright, let's talk to Russell. My world just crumbled yet again. Oh. Russell about his message to the victim. Russell, I hope you have an explanation for this fake eye, because this investigation already made me scream and hallucinate a scream, and you look exhausted, Amy. Take a deep breath and try again. What's troubling you? Russell, this is serious. Why did you send this creepy message to the victim? I'm afraid I'm guilty of playing a prank on poor Roberto. I read his theories about the Nightwalker. What a dilettante. What a dilettante. So I bought that eye at the flea market and told Roberto it belonged to the war veteran whose story got the legend started. He believed it. Russell, I don't recognize you. You've been very cruel to poor Roberto, and worse, you made yourself a suspect just when Matthew needs your skills more than ever. Well, Matthew, you just have to make your own judgments about people now. Keep an open mind. Anyone can be the Nightwalker. For example, I just made a cup of blackberry tea. Can you smell it? Don't forget to write it down, Amy, as part of the killer's profile. And you already know I love riddles, too. I was the one who helped you discover this evidence, remember? I hope this secures my place on your suspect list, Matthew. Oh, gosh. Does this have Jan Toussaint's case all over again? Alright, let's get this map over with. Sorry folks, this computer is a little slow. There, finally. Okay. Matthew, you revealed some strange symbols on the map you found, but do you know what they mean? A sad silhouette, mountains, a car, and a funnel on someone's head? It beats me. Matthew, you think this map is actually a riddle? Gosh, and this means it must have been left by the killer. Let's send the map to the lab quickly. 15 hours. Okay, so we're gonna let these two run their courses. I'll see you all soon. Alright folks, it's Matthew. We are back. We're gonna get more done on a criminal case, Pacific Bay, case 30, at the end of the night. Let's get the results of the frozen hand from Roxy. Matthew, this frozen hand is the coolest thing I've analyzed in ages, and not just because it was in an ice cave. First, I can confirm the hand belongs to a girl who went missing 18 months ago. Second, see this hole in the palm? It's a stab wound inflicted with an icicle, which proves that whoever killed Roberto also killed that girl. It's the same modus operandi. You're right, Matthew. It's the final proof that this killer has been actively killing people for some time, using the Nightwalker's disguise. And Matthew, I found other marks on the hand, made by metal chains, the kind used on the wheels of vehicles in the snow. Such snow chains are very common in the mountains. But in this case, snow chains are used to tie up the victims and drag them up the mountain to the ice cave. So your killer uses snow chains. Okay, that's clue number 3. Deputy Chief Matthew, I demand to see my daughter. Where is Amy? Mother, I'm right here. Deputy Chief Matthew and I are working on a case, so this isn't the best time, but that's exactly why I'm here. Because of your investigation, I won't move an inch before I talk to both of you. Jeez. What a bitch. I just found out Amy has made her own brother a suspect in a murder case. Deputy Chief Matthew, I can't believe you allowed this disgraceful behavior on your watch. Mother, that's no way to talk to Deputy Chief Matthew. Please excuse her, Matthew. She means no disrespect. We can't discuss this case with you, Mother, but Deputy Chief Matthew can assure you that Duncan was questioned as a matter of routine. He cooperated, and what choice did he have? It's easy to bully someone who can't defend himself. Deputy Chief Matthews, if my son is a suspect, make me a suspect too. Let Amy humiliate her entire family. Duncan and I were both at home last night, sitting by a blackberry-scented candle at the kitchen table, playing word score. See, we have an alibi. But feel free to treat us like criminals, Deputy Chief Matthew. I can already see the headlines in the press. Mother and son suffer police abuse of power. What a bitch. Go by the book and people get upset at you. I don't know why. Matthew, your killer really likes riddles. Luckily, I managed to crack this brain teaser he found in the Nightwalker's cave. It's an old-school picture puzzle. Each image represents a word. A lone figure, mountains, a car, and a funnel on somebody's head. Loneliness and mountains are easy. The car is a bit harder. It means drive, and the funnel on the head means crazy. Loneliness, mountains, drive, crazy. Oh, Matthew, you got it. Loneliness in the mountains drives me crazy. The Nightwalker is someone who's lost their mind because of loneliness. The loneliness is no reason to kill people. Is the Nightwalker trying to justify murder? You're right, Matthew. This message also tells us that the mountaintop has a special significance to the killer. It's a lonely, desolate place. Lots of people commit suicide there, and... Oh, Matthew, what if this is a trap to kill us all? I'm not ready for the final showdown with the Nightwalker. Alright, Matthew, I'll get a grip. We should return to the mountaintop, come what may. We can't let this killer get away. No, we can't. Found them all. Matthew, you found a broken slab of stone with a message on it. I agree, the best you can do is to restore it. And you picked up a locked tablet too? I wonder what it's doing here, in the mountains. But you excel at unlocking gadgets. I'm sure we'll know more in a minute. We'll hold here for a bit. Okay, just wanted to get an extra star. Let's get to the broken slab. Still, I can't believe that Russell Crane's a suspect. There we go. Matthew, you've restored the broken stone. It looks like a prehistoric cartoon. It's a sketch of a wavy-haired man and an old guy trying to scare him. And the message says, I hate you. You're right, the figure on the left looks like the victim. And the other one looks like Alan when he growls at people. But then the message telling me that Alan hated Roberto. I agree, Matthew, it's time for another chat with him. Alan, what's this drawing about? Why did you hate Roberto? Deputy Chief Matthew, do you remember the filmmaker girl who was murdered? Of course, Virginia was my friend. I'm still devastated by her death. She was my friend too. She visited me. We'd sit by the fire and solve riddles together. She said I smelled of blackberries. How sweet. But what does this have to do with the sketch you drew? Roberto should have protected her. They were both trying to catch the Nightwalker. They were on the same side. But Roberto let her die. I hope the Nightwalker got him in the end. Here's the coins. It's the tablet. Here we are, yep. Matthew, you unlocked that gadget, and you're right, it's the logo of the Love Village on the screen. You're right, this could be Mayor Bowers. What is this tablet doing here on a hiking trail? I agree, it's best to send it to the lab. 2 coins already. 9 hours. We're gonna let this thing run its course. I'll see 9 hours. Okay guys, we're now gonna wrap up this first chapter. I'm just gonna get the instant analysis now. Matthew, I confirmed this tablet you found on the mountaintop belongs to Mayor Desiree Bauer. But listen to this. According to his diary, he goes to a weekly puzzle convention. Isn't that part of the killer's profile? More importantly, the mayor harassed the victim. He stalked Roberto, took pictures of him, called him late at night, but his notes don't say what he wanted from him. Do you think Mayor Bauer was secretly in love with the victim, Matthew? He's always talking about love and hugs. Alright, I agree. It's best to ask Mayor Bauer directly. Session with the victim. What do you want now? Are you still chasing ghosts? Looks like you were chasing our victim, Mayor Bauer. Deputy Chief Matthew found your tablet. You've been stalking and threatening Roberto for weeks before he died. Roberto was spreading rumors, ruining the community. Murders here, kidnappings there, Nightwalker everywhere. This is a village of love, not hatred and horrible murders. But the murders and disappearances are real. The Nightwalker's legend is just the killer's disguise. Anyone could be behind it, even a man in a pink suit. If I was a Nightwalker, I'd believe in it, right? But I don't, so I'm none. Simples. Now I have a crisis to solve. The town hall has run out of blackberry-scented toilet fresheners. I had to bring in my own from home. I pray the taxpayers never find out. What a nightmare this case is, Matthew. There really is a Nightwalker living in an ice cave in the mountain, killing people just like in the legend. But Matthew, could the Nightwalker be a flesh and blood killer? Someone lonely, clever, and wicked? Which means it could be Mother, right, Matthew? She's often snippy, but she loves Duncan and me. Well, she loves Duncan. She'd never do something like... And Russell, he's smart and sometimes cold. First Bobby, now Russell. Now, what's with these men, Matthew? Everywhere around me there's love. There's people I love but cannot trust. It breaks my heart. I know how that feels. What's going on? Is Amy alright, Matthew? Chief Marquez, there's something I have to tell you. I've always been a disappointment to all of you. This investigation is the last straw. I can't do this anymore. Mother is right. I'll never be a good detective, so I'm leaving the police. Oh, for real? Well, we're going to have to find this out in the chapter 3, so I'll see you guys for that. Okay guys, it is Matthew here. We are back for the 3rd chapter of The End of the Night, case number 30 in Pacific Bay. Matthew, Chief Marquez, there's something I have to tell you. I decided to leave the police. I want to resign. What? Amy, you can't quit in the middle of an investigation. Deputy Chief Matthew needs you. But I can't face this case. Duncan, Mother, Russell, everyone I love is a suspect. I'd rather never know if one of them is the Nightwalker. Being a detective was my dream. I wanted to be like my brother Duncan, a hero, but I've disappointed you enough, Matthew. I'll never be any good at this, so... Amy, the clock is ticking. I must send Matthew back to the crime scene. Can you hold it together for just a little bit longer? What would your brother do, Amy? Would he let his partner face danger alone? Would Matthew? Alright, Chief, I owe it to Matthew and to Duncan to finish this. I'll go back to the bridge if it's the last thing I do. Gee, I can't believe she'd be doing this. Okay, let's see what's here. That's a freaky sign right there. Burnt page, wooden leg. Roberto's backpack. Up to the 13th. Ugh, what is this? What is that thing, Matthew? A wooden leg? See, this is exactly the kind of thing I wish I didn't have to deal with now. And you think there's a message carved into it? You're right, Matthew. The veteran who inspired the Nightwalker's legend had a wooden leg. Could you retrieve the message? And what is that burned paper? Something by Roberto Vasquez? Something written by the victim. But someone burnt it. Matthew, it'll take all your skill to collect any substance from it, given how damaged and contaminated it is. And he found a backpack with the victim's name. Right, I'll brace myself for whatever you'll find in it. Excuse me. I'm gonna go ahead and do these anyway. Quick thing though before we start, I'll be right back. Okay. Matthew, you collected DNA from the victim's burnt manuscript. Let's get the sample to Jan. 9 hours. 1:10 a.m. is when it'll happen for me. Let's get the wooden leg out. The Nightwalker can outrun you, Roberto. Jeez. That's not cryptic, I don't know what is. Matthew, you revealed the message on the wooden leg. Let's see. The Nightwalker can outrun you, Roberto. Do you think this leg could have belonged to the original Nightwalker, Matthew? Maybe Russell can tell us if it's authentic. Oh, you're right. We can't ask Russell because he's a suspect for playing a prank on the victim and with that horrible fake eye. I agree. If Russell sent the fake eye, he could easily be responsible for this wooden leg, too. What a horrible discovery. We still have to ask Russell to explain this, but he'll have to do it as a suspect, not as an expert this time. Matthew, I already admitted it was wrong to mock Roberto for his Nightwalker theories, but I have nothing to do with this wooden leg, fascinating as it is. And now I got that out of the way. You have to listen, Matthew. I've done my own research on the Nightwalker. Whoever it is someone very intelligent who won't confess to the murder easily. They'll deny it and try to negotiate with you, ambush you with their intelligence. Deny it? But wait, isn't it exactly what you're doing now, Russell? You're intelligent. What if it's you? Matthew, Amy is very upset. Half her family's on the suspect list. No wonder she's second-guessing everyone around her. It's a natural reaction. But I didn't kill Roberto. I just happen to be a very clever guy. I think that's somebody's badge. Broken one at that. Matthew, you found a broken badge in Roberto's backpack. I have a horrible feeling about this. Can you restore it? Oh, it's Duncan's. Holy God. Amy ain't gonna like this. Oh no! The broken badge you found in Roberto's backpack is Duncan's old police badge. Duncan would never part with his old badge. It's his most prized possession. But how did it end up in Roberto's backpack? I guess you're right, Matthew. We need to ask my brother how his badge fell into the victim's hands. Let's go. Up in the victim's backpack. Amy's right, Matthew. My old police badge means everything to me. Thank you so much for returning it. Being a cop was the best time of my life. I miss it so much. Civilian life is not the same. Matthew understands, Duncan, but how did your badge end up in Roberto's backpack? Did you give it to him? No, Roberto must have stolen it from me. I remember bumping into him at the workshop when I had snow chains fitted on my wheelchair. I needed them to be able to go outside. The mayor was there too, carrying up his pink Lovemobile for winter. I'm sure he backed me up on this. Oh boy. We'll find out after the DNA has run its course. Well guys, it's Matthew. We are back, and I'm going to speed this up. Matthew, I have news about the DNA you collected from the burnt page on the crime scene, but you won't like it, Amy. You're making me nervous, Jan. What is it? The DNA on the page belongs to your mother, Amy. I'm sorry. But, okay, so mother's DNA is on a burnt paper, which means she burnt a piece of paper. What's the big... Okay, she burnt something written by the victim. I still don't see why... Right, Matthew, let's just ask Mother what this is all about. Yeah. Burning his writing. You really are useless as a cop, Amy. You never asked me if I knew the victim. Well, I knew Roberto, and I burnt his book for good reasons. Mother, why would you burn a book? What was it about? Roberto told me he was writing Duncan's biography. I thought he meant his heroic past with the police, so I agreed to help. But then I found out the book was about Duncan's accident. Roberto wanted to call it The Fallen Hero. It was pure defamation and lies. I won't even mention the details. I burnt the manuscript before Duncan had a chance to hear about it. He must never find out. Do you hear, Amy? Now can I go home? It's a long drive, even with my snow chains. And I want to make dinner for Duncan. I don't expect you'll eat with us tonight, Amy. Jesus Christ. Matthew, I dread to think what we'll find next, but I'm glad I've stuck with you. We know that Roberto wrote a book about Duncan. Mother found out and burnt the manuscript, but did she kill the author too? And Duncan thinks Roberto stole his old police badge. It's out of character for him to be so defensive, but then I can't imagine he'd lie. And Russell acts as if he's reading the Nightwalker's mind. How can he do that if he's innocent? What? You want to go back to the ice cave, Matthew? Well, maybe we'll find something that proves my family's innocent. Alright then. The coins. Okay, now let's get this thing going. Water bottle, garland, shovel, pillow, it's a clue with an icicle on it, olive oil bottle, and the Nightwalker mask. There it is. I wanted to get this over before I go to bed tonight, and I'll let the others run their courses. Matthew, you found an icicle on a pillow, as if it were some precious jewel? You're right, we know Roberto was stabbed with an icicle, but it was missing, which means you just found the murder weapon, Matthew. Do you think that pillow holds some forensic evidence you could collect? Oh, Matthew, I know it's silly, but I hope it's something that points to the mayor, or even to Alan, or anyone but my family. And you found a mask, too. Goodness, it's definitely the Nightwalkers. Alright, try and collect something from the mask, Matthew. You must uncover this terrible secret, even if it crushes me. It's 2 coins. Let's get the icicle first. There we are. Skin cells. Great, Matthew. You collect the skin cells from the murder weapon. I'll get the sample to the lab straight away. Gosh, we're so close to the end. Will I be brave enough to look the Nightwalker in the face, Matthew? I think you will. There we are. 15:05. Matthew, did you find anything on the Nightwalker's mask? Some tiny fibers? Okay, let's get the neon as fast as we can. We're gonna find out who the killer is, and I'm gonna let these two run their courses. We'll see you all for that. So for now, I'm gonna get the remaining stars. So this is Matthew, and I'll see you in a few hours. Alright guys, we're back now. We're gonna get the results of the fibers. When the skin cells go a little bit quicker, run the course a little bit more, I'll get an instant analysis. Matthew, the fibers you found on the killer's mask are strands of hair, but they were badly damaged. All I could determine from the DNA is that it's human hair. So we are no closer to the killer. We cannot let the Nightwalker walk free, Jan. And we won't, Matthew. Where genetic testing fails, simple chemistry still helps. I analyzed the biosynthetic pathways for different kinds of melanin and discovered that none were present in the sample. In other words, the hair that got stuck on the killer's mask is blonde. Uh-oh. So our killer has blonde hair? Oh, Matthew, this means the tie between people I love. Oh, gosh. It's no win for Amy. But Russell's already in the clear because he doesn't use snow chains. But so far it's between Duncan or Miriam. I don't know who it's going to be, but either way it's a lose-lose. We'll find out after this. Hello guys, it's Matthew. We are back. We're going to wrap up find out who the killer is. End of the night. Check the skin cells. Matthew, the skin cells he found on the pillow holding the murder weapon proved challenging. The killer took care to remove the evidence. There was barely any DNA in the sample, but even careful killers make mistakes. The low temperature helped preserve enough biological material to isolate the Y chromosome. In other words, your killer is a man. Oh, so the killer is a man. I guess it's a relief, in a way. At least it's not my mother, Matthew. Oh. Well, this is it, Matthew. You have enough evidence to arrest Roberto's killer and uncover the true identity of the Nightwalker. I dread to think who will be accused, but I know you're right. The truth must prevail. Not looking forward to this arrest, but you do what you have to do. Nope. It's not Miriam Young. It sure as heck ain't Russell Crane. Unfortunately, it's Duncan Young. Duncan, Deputy Chief Matthew wants to arrest you for Roberto's murder, but you didn't do it, right? Of course not, Deputy Chief Matthew. I'm sorry, but you must have made a mistake. I just hope my sister won't get the blame for this. But Duncan, Matthew proved the killer is smart and likes riddles. An ex-policeman fits the profile perfectly. Oh, come on, that's really flimsy evidence, Deputy Chief Matthew. But you also have snow chains on your wheelchair, and you're blonde, and... Oh, Duncan, I'd give anything if only Matthew was wrong. Amy, look at me. I'm stuck in a wheelchair. How can I be the killer? How can I be the Nightwalker when I can't walk? I don't know,
Matthew, what if you really made a mistake this time? I know you're never wrong, but... Matthew, Amy, I have something very important to show you. Right now? What is it, Hannah? Remember the video on Roberto's phone, Matthew? I've been working on it I've been working ever since to retrieve the rest of the recording, and I finally have it. He has to watch it right away. Oh no, it's back. It's the Nightwalker again. Hello, Roberto. Oh gosh. Get away from me. Hey, calm down, it's just me. Come on, don't tell me you're afraid of poor little crippled Duncan. Get back, I know everything. I know you're the Nightwalker. I just don't understand how you killed all those people when you can't walk. I wanted everybody to believe that I couldn't, but I taught myself to walk again after my accident. And with that came a thirst for blood. No, please, Duncan, I won't tell anybody you can't walk. I won't tell anyone you're the Nightwalker. Oh, gosh. You can walk. All this time, you could walk. Amy, I wanted to tell you, it's still me. It's Duncan, your brother. Now put that gun down, okay? You killed Roberto. Amy, I protected you all my life. Now it's your turn. Help me escape and I'll make everything alright, I promise. I'd love to believe you, Duncan, but you're just trying to sweet-talk me into a horrible mistake. Have I ever let you down, Amy? Have I not been your hero all your life? I'm the only one in your family who ever loved you. Just help me escape, damn it. Duncan, I remember what you told me when we found you at the crime scene. You said you trusted me to do the right thing. I'm doing this in honor of the cop you once were. Duncan, I'm stepping aside while Deputy Chief Matthew arrests you for murder. Duncan Young, you're charged with the murder of Roberto Vasquez along with several other murders in White Peaks, committed under the guise of the Nightwalker. We don't know the exact number of victims, but it's clear Roberto was just the tip of the the iceberg. The evidence Deputy Chief Matthew collected is compelling. What I don't get is why you never told anyone you could walk. Because no one deserved to know. After I was shot and lost my job with the police, everyone turned away from me. I was no longer a hero, just a cripple. I taught myself to walk again just to prove them wrong, and that's when it clicked. I was like the legendary Nightwalker. We were both heroes shunned by society. Is that why you killed those girls that disappeared in the forest, and then you kept them frozen in the ice cave like in a giant refrigerator? I killed them because they had everything I'd lost. Beauty, youth, happiness. I wanted to preserve all that beauty and ice so they'd never be broken like me. Well, Roberto was an exception. He was ugly as sin, but he almost blew my cover. That was just damage control. What a sad fallen hero you are, Duncan Young. I pity your family who stood by you all this time, blissfully ignoring you were a monster. This court sentences you to life in prison for a series of brutal murders in White Peaks. All rise. Matthew, I still can't believe my brother was a Nightwalker. I can't believe he can walk, and he never told me. And Mother, what is she going to do now? I'm sorry, Matthew. I need some time to hide in the dark and cry. Desiree Bauer looked good for it. And so did Miriam Young. Russell Crane also looked good, but he didn't use Snow Chain, so he was already excluded. So I'll see you guys through the AI. Hey guys, it's Matthew here. We are back. We're going to do the additional investigation of the end of the night. Deputy Chief Matthew, I wanted to congratulate you. You handled the Nightwalker's case with professionalism and composure. Now, Amy, considering everything that just happened, I'm putting you on leave of duty. It's high time you got some space to grieve and... Please, Chief Marquez, don't. I'd rather be here helping Matthew out than at home thinking about what happened. Anyway, my mother's here. I don't know why. She wasn't even at Duncan's trial, but Matthew, if you don't mind, I would like to check on her. I do not approve of this, but there's no time to argue. Deputy Chief Matthew's strange symbols are spotted by the bridge. I want you and Frank to go there and make sure we do not have another night walker on our hands. Sure, Andrea. Matthew, do you want to go to the bridge or talk to Amy's mom first? Talking to the witch. Mother, I didn't see you at Duncan's trial. I was worried of... Do not pretend to care about your family, Amy. You've arrested your own brother. You should be ashamed of yourself. But Mother, Duncan killed people. Deputy Chief Matthew was right to arrest him. I will not listen to this nonsense. Deputy Chief Matthew, I demand you help me. My son's belongings are still in that ice cave and I want them back. Matthew, I want to apologize for my mother. She should not have spoken to you that way. She must be distraught because of, you know. You still want to go have one last look at the ice cave? Very well, but I dread what we might find there. What I dread is facing your damn mother, Amy. Handgun. Gosh, it's been a while since I've been here. Oh boy. Oh, there it is. Apologize about my voice if it sounds a little different, guys. I'm trying to get over a cold. You're right, Matthew. I wouldn't be surprised if this police bag was my brother's. He was pretty nostalgic at the time he worked for the police. I'm not sure if I want to know what Duncan could have hidden inside, but let's have a look. Excuse me. Wow. Duncan, you're a failure. Matthew, you found my brother's diary? Oh, but I don't think I could read it. It's too personal. Wait, you're right. It's a picture of my mother, and she's saying, Duncan, you're a failure. Mother told Duncan he was a failure? But that can't be. She loved him. He could never do anything wrong if you asked her. It even made me a little jealous. You're right. Maybe the rest of the journal could make sense of this. Can you retrieve the faded parts, Matthew? I'm on it. I'll show you. I can't believe this is really my brother's diary, Matthew. I'll show you? He sounded so angry with our mother. I still can't believe our mother could ever call Duncan a failure. She practically worshipped him. You're right, Matthew. Maybe it's time I finally confronted my mother about all this. I'm just glad you'll be with me to face her. What is this diary, Deputy Chief Matthew? Duncan would never write such a thing about me. Are you sure he didn't pick up Amy's diary instead? Mother, I would never write such a thing about you. Although I could have, it's true. You've always brought me down. Nothing I can do is ever good enough. And this diary shows you've been the same with Duncan. You foolish girl. You're just jealous because, unlike you, your brother was a hero, and I reminded him of it every day. But you always talked about the past. You never told him how great he still was, even though he was in a wheelchair. You only cared about who he used to be. Duncan didn't need that after having his career destroyed. He needed your love. You could have avoided what he did, but instead you contributed to it. Deputy Chief Matthew, are you going to let my daughter talk to me like that way? I have always supported the police force, and I demand... You don't get to demand anything ever again. We're through, Mother. I don't need your approval anymore. Thank God. Deputy Chief Matthew, please, let's go. I know my brother saved money for the police funds. We can go get it together if you want. I know he wanted you to have it. I'm glad she stood up to her. Baseball bat, feather, round stone, flag, perfect. Matthew, you think the stone's what we're looking for? There does seem to be some faded symbol on it. Well, you know what to do. Okay. There we go. Gee, Matthew, this symbol on the stone you found by the bridge makes no sense to me. You're right, we should send it to Hannah. Maybe she'll find out what it is. Nine hours. Probably cut it short, but we'll let it go for now. So, I'll let the 9 hours go through for a while, and then I'll get the analysis. Alright guys, Matthew, it's Matthew here again. We are back, and we're going to wrap up the AI of the end of the night, case 30. I'm just going to speed this up. Matthew, I had a look at the symbol you found on the bridge, and it's part of the hobo alphabet. Homeless people have their own alphabet? That's fancy. Drifters and itinerant workers use symbols to let others know about certain places. For example, if a hideout is safe or if a house offers food. The symbol Matthew found means town is hostile, get out quick. A drifter lets a message warning that White Peak should be avoided. Do we know anyone who might have done that, Matthew? You're right, we know a hobo, Alan Muir, the hermit. Could he have left this symbol? Let's go talk to him. Alan, Deputy Chief Matthew found a stone by the bridge with a hobo sign telling anyone who would read it to leave the place ASAP. Is there any chance you did it? Yeah, I did. I got into way too much trouble out here, and I was never guilty of anything. I'm skipping town and advising any new soul here to do so too. Shame I left something behind. Kinda kills me to leave it, but I made it all the way down here from the mountain, and I feel too weak to go back. Well, I'm not sure we can help you with that, buddy. We're in a rush, but Deputy Chief Matthew must help you with this, it seems. Sure, let's go to the mountaintop, but please, let's grab something to eat before. I'm starving.
I'm tired and I want to get over this cold that I have. Yeah, try thinking about me, Frank. Assault rifle, ice axe, frozen hand tin can. Found the torn picture. Perfect. You found a torn picture, Matthew. What a surprise. Alright then, let's piece it back together. Let's. There we are. Great, you restored the picture you found on the mountaintop, Matthew. Damn, it looks old and that soldier looks kinda tough, I'd say. Who is this guy? Do you think he's still alive? That's right. If you want to find what the guy looks like today, we could have a match with someone and find the owner. Sure, let's do this. Good, it's not an analysis. Kind of knew it from the beginning. Kind of looks like Alan Muir. And it looks like it is. And it is Alan Muir. Geez, too bad he resorted to the life of a hermit. So that's Alan Muir that's Alan Muir on that picture, Matthew. Yeah, that's probably what he was sad to leave behind. It's hard to figure it could have been a soldier one day. That's nuts, but you're right, we should find him and give him back his pick. There's 1 coins. You found my picture, Deputy Chief Matthew. Ah, those are the days. Best time of my life. I was a Marine and I've seen a few conflicts, I can tell you. At that time I still believed in my country and its so-called values. But one day I got wounded and everything changed. With my low veteran pay, I couldn't afford much. They told me I was a hero, but I was not treated as such. So I packed myself and hit the road. I had my share of adventures. Let me tell you, Deputy Chief Matthew, until I came to this place, I just wanted to be left alone, but people accuse me of being a monster, which is why I'm leaving. You're one of the few people I'm going to miss, Deputy Chief Matthew. Please take this. I won't need them where I'm going. It's not much, but it's all I have. Huh. Matthew, maybe I was too tough with my mother. My brother is in jail, and maybe I shouldn't leave her alone. Trust me, Amy, you made the right decision. If you stayed with her, it would only have gotten worse. Matthew's right. Don't worry, we're here for you. We'll never let you down. Thanks, but I think I need to get away from White Peaks for a while. Good idea, kid. Why not go for some sunshine for a change? You'll be happy to hear then, since Deputy Chief Matthew did an outstanding job here in White Peaks, and the crime rate lowered substantially, we're moving to Ivywood. Ivywood? I was there in the 80s. The rock stars, the concerts, and the drug busts. Man, that was crazy, but as it is now, thanks but no thanks. We won't go there to have fun, but to catch criminals. Matthew, I trust you'll keep Frank in check. Yep. Got that a lot. Let's see what's in here. A squirrel, a fox, and a rabbit. Probably not up my alley. So the first case for the next district in Ivywood. Eight new cases. And we'll see you guys for case number 1 in Ivywood, case number 31 overall in Pacific Bay.